Welcome to Upgrading to version 3 and how to get started. Thank you for joining us. Today's webinar is being recorded. Some of the key things we're going to cover today in our webinar are going to be, we're going to review the reasons why you should move to RO Writer version 3, how to know what version of RO Writer you're currently using, know the upgrade migration path for your shop's RO Writer, and then we'll have a short time for Q&A. Remember, all of the links that I mentioned throughout this webinar, we will share those with you via email to those attending today. First, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Jennifer Mahan. I'm the team lead for implementation and training, and I'm in my 10th year with RO Writer. As we go along through the webinar, if you have any questions, there's two ways that you can ask those questions. One, you can raise your hand, or two, you can type the question. If you type the question, that's the preferred method, and we'll get to those questions during our Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So the main reasons to upgrade are going to be starting with our smart oil and our smart fluids. These are going to allow you to build oil changes quicker while maintaining your profit margin by automatically adding the additional oil needed. In addition, smart fluids will let you build transmission and coolant flush jobs quicker as well. We have enhanced our tire quote to include more suppliers who integrate in RO Writer version 3's tire quote. We've set up where RO Writer will do automatic backups once scheduled, and these automatic backups could be scheduled to copy the backup data to an external drive should you choose. As well, we have scheduled upgrades. Once you're on RO Writer version 3, you can review outstanding upgrades via our server utilities and schedule those newest upgrades. And the greatest benefit, I feel, is the speed and stability increase. When you move from Access to SQL, which is our Gen 1 to our version 3, it's going to provide significant stability. While moving from Gen 2 to version 3, it is shown to increase speed. As well, as of June 15th, Microsoft will no longer support Internet Explorer. This means that the next part in AC Delco catalogs from the Quick Launch toolbar left side may no longer function within Gen 1 and Gen 2 of RO Writer. If you use these catalogs, you will need to upgrade to RO Writer version 3. To get more information about RO Writer version 3, you can go to our YouTube channel. As well, you could also go to our informational page that has not only information about version 3, but it also includes information on how to get ready to upgrade. So before you can upgrade, you need to understand what version of RO Writer that you have. Visually, there's differences between Gen 1 and Gen 2 or version 3 of RO Writer. If you're on Gen 1, it's on the left-hand side, and it's going to be full color. If you're on Gen 2 or version 3, it's going to be our blues and grays, and that's going to be on the right-hand side of your screen. The best way to confirm that your version that you have is to actually open your RO Writer, go to Help, and then About. When you're there, your version of RO Writer will display in that screen. Take note because that's the path you're going to need to take to upgrade. If you found that you're on Gen 1, it's a two-step process. These steps are scheduled during normal business hours, and the steps are as follows. Step 1, we do a technical review. During this technical review, there will not be any downtime to your shop, and we confirm your site and database compatibility with RO Writer version 3. Assuming that everything goes well during that technical review, we will schedule step 2, and there could be up to an hour or so of downtime as we migrate your location from RO Writer Gen 1 to RO Writer version 3. There are a couple of ways that you can get that step 1 scheduled. First of all, you can schedule with us using our calendar. You can send a request to our team, or you can email our team. Please note that if you do send a request or send an email, we will ask you to schedule. Once you have scheduled the date and time for step 2, be sure to notify your third-party integrators so they can be aware of the migration. If you learned that you're actually on Gen 2, there's two ways for you to upgrade. Option 1, which is our preferred method, is that you can actually upgrade on your own. That's a new feature that we have with our version 3 is you can upgrade on your own. We have easy to follow instructions online, and as I mentioned earlier, we will send an email with those instructions after the webinar. Option 2 is you can call us or email us, or you can go schedule yourself to our calendar. Again, same with Gen 1. Once you've scheduled that migration date, be sure to notify any third-party integrators so they are aware of your migration. If you're already on version 3, but you want to keep your version 3 updated to the most recent version of version 3, You can do scheduled upgrades, as mentioned as a key feature in version 3, scheduled upgrades. In order to do that, you're going to go to RO Writer Server, open Server Utilities, click Upgrades, and then click to schedule an upgrade. That will prompt a window that's requesting for you to pick our next available upgrade date and time. Once you schedule that upgrade, it'll give you a notification of the date and time that it is scheduled. What's going to happen that on that date and time, your server is going to upgrade. When you come in the next morning, you'll be prompted when you open RO Writer to complete the upgrade on the workstations.